Welcome to How We Grow, an essential playbook to grow and scale your vacation rental business with advice and insights from the best in the biz, with your host, Lynell Gordon.
Welcome to How We Grow the Vacation Rental Show. I'm Lynell Gordon, your host, and I want to introduce you to a very special guest today. Her name is Audrey Miller, and Audrey is a seasoned vacation rental manager who's been in business for 30 years with a company called Cottage Connections out of Maine. And I am very pleased that she agreed to come and share her wisdom with us today. Thank you, Audrey.
Oh, you're welcome.
So the reason that we do this podcast is to help other vacation rental managers grow their business. So I deliberately choose people who've been in business long enough to know what they're about and how to grow their business. So tell me, what is the number one tip for people who are looking to grow their vacation rental business? What would you tell them, Audrey?
I'd tell them that it's really easy to get upset when things don't go your way, but you always need to remember to be professional and act with kindness.
Kindness is important. I was talking with a vacation rental manager this morning, and we were talking about how important treating people the way that you'd like to be treated is. So treating people with kindness. Let me ask you this. If you could look back on yourself and give advice to yourself 20, 30 years ago, what would you tell yourself about this business?
I'd say don't try to do it all yourself. Get some help and make sure you get some good help and that you treat them like gold, because I think I spent a lot of time trying to do it myself and do everything myself. And then I took on some help, and it's a challenge when you have other people that you depend on that have to work with you in a stressful environment on a day-to-day basis. And I think that's the hardest thing that I had to learn, was how to deal with other people in my business.
So the kind of people that you hire, have you had people that have worked for you for a long time?
Yes, I had a woman named Melba Gunnison who worked with me for 20 plus years. And she just recently, in the last 4 or 5 years, has retired. Well, thank you.
No, I guess that. What do you think the key to longevity of employees is?
Well, I think I'm not the best one to ask because our business is so seasonal. We don't employ everyone year-round. We have a lot of seasonal help. And so they are forced to go and get other jobs during the off-season. And we're very lucky if we can get our housekeepers to come back the next year. And I don't know, I've gone through a lot of people in my office because it's a seasonal job. So it's hard.
No, the East Coast, especially in those little areas like the beaches, and I'm from one of those where the pool of people to pull from, that pool is pretty small. And to be able to keep them year after year is really an impossibility. You have to hire every year your staff for the year for that season. Is that how you do things on your end?
Well, I've been very lucky to have people that do return. I have a couple in my office right now. My daughter is one of them who comes back and helps. She's been helping since she was born and old enough to walk and hold a feather duster. We put her to work right away.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. My family's in business as well. All the children. Every single one of my sister's children are in the business. Well, I understand that. They've been doing it since they could walk as well. So with your business, what do you think the key to your success and your growth has been?
I think it's caring about what we do and understanding what our goals are and our mission is. If you really care about people having a good vacation and you really want to make things nice for them, I think that goes a long way. We care very much about our homeowners and what their goals are, and we care about our guests and what kind of experience they want to have. And we try to match them to the right property so they can have that experience. I think that's very important.
So how do you do that? How do you match the property to the guest?
Well, it starts with a live conversation on the telephone, usually. This instant booking is great if they already know what they want and they know the properties, but there's no substitute for talking to another human being about what they want and what they need. I found that people that come here really need a vacation. They really do. We used to watch them check in our office and they would be all uptight and nervous. And then when they'd check out at the end of their week's stay, they were relaxed and happy and smiling. It was a big difference, and I love seeing it.
So how do you train your reservationists to match your guests to houses? Do they know the houses that well?
Yes, they all have to know the houses. They have to go in them. They have to read about them. They talk on the phone with the homeowners. They get to know the properties. I think that's very important. And, they ask us really detailed questions, the guests. As you probably know, they want to know what kind of coffee maker it is. They want to know if there's a hairdryer in the bathroom. So you've got to know all this stuff. I think the other thing that's worth talking about is safety. When I first started in this business, people weren't really concerned with safety that much, and a lot of houses had unsafe railings on their deck and smoke alarms missing, fire extinguishers tucked under the sink, things like that. And thanks to Justin Ford, we have paid a lot more attention to safety nowadays, and I think that's a real plus.
So how do you train your homeowners about the safety issues in their house?
Well, I think we go into the house and we do a safety inspection, and we go through the house and we point out what the issues are. And I don't think anybody wants to have a house that's unsafe. Oftentimes these houses are old and they've been grandfathered in and they're right on the water. So I have one house this year where the railings on the deck, that if you were to go over the railing, you'd be on the rocks. And they have taken measures to raise the rail to the right height, which is a really good thing. But in the past, they would have objected to it and said, it's good enough for my family, it's good enough for the guests.
How do you convince your owners that that is a safety issue, regardless of what the family thinks?
We put the fear of God in them, actually. We tell them stories about what can happen and how they can be sued, and that gets their attention.
Wow. Okay. So matching the guests to the house, what other types of things do you think have helped to make you successful?
I think it's getting to know your homeowners and understanding what their needs are and developing a relationship with them that's built on trust and integrity. Without that, you don't have anything. I have homeowners that have been with us for 30 years, and I know that they depend on us. They know that if something happens, we will do the right thing and we'll do what's necessary to take care of the problem in the best way we can with their interests at heart. I think that's the most important thing.
You're talking about trust, integrity, and doing the right thing. I interview a lot of property managers, and would you believe a lot of them say the same thing? A lot of the successful property managers, they themselves have a lot of integrity. They not only do the right thing, but they teach their staff to do the right thing, and they create that trust with their homeowner in a specific way.
Vacation rental managers utilize LiveRes and their powerful software that goes beyond the standard. LiveRes empowers you to operate your business the way you want, while offering you powerful support and access to a community of partners and experts to grow your vacation rental business. LiveRes's industry differentiator is software plus support, community, and service, with high converting websites included to get you started. Learn more at liveres.com.
Tell me your favorite homeowner story.
My favorite homeowner story. Oh my gosh. There was a woman, her husband is a dentist, and they were getting on in age, and we rented their house our first year in business, and then they would come and spend more time in it. So it would come in and out of our program from year to year. And her husband got very sick, and she asked if we would come over and do a spring cleaning so that they could come in. And the housekeepers got over there, and they had 2 dogs, 2 black labs that were just shedding hair like crazy. And the housekeepers were shocked that the house was so dirty and so full of dog hair. It was everywhere. And so we did the job. We cleaned the house. We got rid of the dog hair. It took a long time. And I sent the bill to her, and she called me up and she said, I can't thank you enough for making our house clean. And I would be happy to pay you whatever you ask for. And I was like, wow, I fully expected some pushback on the bill, but we didn't get any.
That is wonderful. That's a testament to trust, for sure. And that's a nice homeowner. I'm just saying, that's a very nice homeowner. Do you charge a pet fee?
Absolutely.
Hopefully that helped them pay for that. When you talk about profit centers, ways that you make money outside of the reservation fee or outside of a commission, what other kinds of ways do you have to make money in that area? Travel insurance is a great one, right?
Yes. It's not a big one for us.
It's not. Really?
Yeah.
What's your uptake on travel insurance? Do you know the percentages?
It's very low, 2-3%.
I am so surprised. Is it because you have a lot of guests return each year?
Right. We have about an 85% repeat rate. Our cancellation policy is very strict too, so I am surprised that more of them don't take it, because our cancellation policy is if you rent a house from us for 7 nights or more, you're required to in the season. If you have to cancel, unless we can re-rent it, you lose everything.
And they're not taking you up on it.
Nope.
That is surprising. That really is surprising. What are your profit centers then? If it's not that, is it just commission for the most part?
No, it's not just commission. We do add on fees to our guests to cover credit card fees and different things. You know, you're kind of forced into whatever the big guys are doing. And, we have to compete with that. So we have to see how they're doing things. And then we have to explain to our homeowners why we're doing what we do and how we're competing with big guys like Airbnb and VRBO.
And although I know we don't charge a credit card fee, I know that we have profit centers that come in that we use that because there's administration that goes with having that. It's a very expensive thing. I think that in the last 5 years, a lot of companies have made sure that they have a way to cover the administrative fees for their credit cards through certain.
Yeah. You wanted to ask me one more, and that is, we have a logo that an artist here in Boothbay Harbor made for us 30 years ago. She just recently passed away. Corinne McIntyre was her name. And she designed our logo based on 2 Adirondack chairs looking out at the water as a symbol of relaxation. We have obviously been looking for the perfect Adirondack chairs over the years, and we now offer the ultimate Adirondack chairs for sale. They are made of recycled plastic milk jugs. They're made in Canada. They weigh a lot. They can sit outside. They come in 14 colors, and we're known for selling them. And they also have a version called an upright, which allows you to get in and out of them easier for those that are getting older. And the majority of our homeowners and guests are baby boomers.
Oh, wow. That's a great idea. I hadn't thought about that, but I'm going to have to look at those chairs, put on my vacation rental on the outside upstairs deck. I usually put rocking chairs, but this year I was looking at Adirondack. That's something a good idea. So you guys procured those yourself?
Yes, we sell them.
That's great. Tell me what your passion is as far as vacation rental. What is your favorite thing about what you do?
Well, I think that hospitality is in my blood. My grandparents ran a guest home here in Maine when I was growing up, and I like to make things pretty. I like to entertain. I like to eat good food, and I like to make sure that the houses are set up for people to be able to do that. And I love to decorate houses. I've decorated a lot of our vacation rentals. A woman from St. Louis bought a house here with nothing in it, painted the whole thing this beautiful light gray color, and then called me up and said, I want to rent it. Will you furnish it? Well, that was just heaven. Yes, so I furnished the whole house. It was wonderful, and it rents very well, and it's been in our program for the last 6 or 7 years.
Well, let me ask you this. If someone is interested in talking to you about vacation rentals, would you be willing to chat with them?
Absolutely.
How would they reach out to you?
Well, the interesting thing about reading Brooke Faust's book, Vintory, His Business, and How to Acquire New Homeowners, I haven't done anything like he suggested. Nothing. And I know that I need to change that and I need to do things differently than we do. And I'm working on a plan to do that. But I've always had people come to us. They always have seen our business. We're right on the main road. You have to go past us to get into town. And because we've been around so long, they know who we are and they call us up when they're ready to talk about it. And then I like to meet with them face to face if possible and see the property. And then we can talk about the property and what their goals are.
That's very cool. What are your goals for the next few years?
Oh, that's a good question. I think I would like to have my daughter take over doing a lot of the things that need to be done and just concentrate on owner acquisition and leave it at that. Because I like that. I like to see the houses. I like to talk to people. I like to know what's out there.
See, that's the one thing I don't ever want to do in property management. Owner acquisition, I don't. I love dealing with the guests. I love dealing with problems that they have. That's just not my deal. And I'm not a decorator either. My sister, she is amazing. While I understand where you're coming from, that is really admirable. And that's very important. It's the most important part of the business, of course, with getting families.
I'm sure that, you have people that are doing those things so that you can do what you do.
Exactly.
Yeah. Are you the one with the computer engineering degree and the political science degree and the real estate broker in North Carolina?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, well, you far outrank me, my dear.
No. Look, what I have done, I've been very grateful for the opportunity that God has given me. And I get to talk to a lot of really smart people like yourself, Audrey, that have built businesses. And they are down to earth, just like you. They have worked with their blood, sweat, and tears. They've raised their children while they've been doing their business. And they've become quite successful because, like you, they're kind, they believe in doing what's right, and they build trust. And I am very fortunate to be able to count among my friends so many people like yourself that do this wonderful service for guests. So we can really go to places where, like you say, when you leave, you have a big smile on your face because you've actually had a vacation. Because someone's looked out for you and made sure that what you said is what they got. So I really appreciate what you've done. If someone wants to reach out to you, Audrey, what's the best way for them to reach you?
Usually email audrey@cottageconnection.com. The business does not have an S on it. It's singular, cottageconnection.com.
Okay, guys, so if you want to talk to somebody who's been in business for a very long time, who understands all the different pieces of it because they built it from the bottom up, Audrey is your girl, and she's very kind and considerate. She'll be very happy to talk to you. And so thank you, Audrey, for being here with us. And especially since you're ill, I so appreciate you doing this. I didn't expect it, but thank you for coming on.
Well, thank you for having me.
This episode of How We Grow is brought to you by LiveRes. To find out more about how LiveRes can help grow your vacation rental business, visit liveres.com. Make sure to search for How We Grow in Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Google Podcasts, or anywhere else podcasts are found, and hit subscribe so you never miss an episode. On behalf of the team here at Inhabit, thanks for listening.